for this one. Robin Cowan and Rachel Brown-Finnis.
Thank you very much, Gabby. Good afternoon, everyone. The final course of this Saturday feast of football. The remaining two teams from Group D face off. Denmark, taking part in their first World Cup in 16 years, will surely relish this occasion. Not an easy opener against a side in China who are vastly experienced in this competition. This is the 8th World Cup they've qualified for out of the 9 editions. Runners-up in 1999. And they are slowly building back their status as one of the teams to be feared on the world stage under their new manager and former star player, 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Kick-off in Perth at the rectangular stadium is nearly upon us, but first we will pause for the national anthems. Familiar opponents, this is the 4th time these two have met in the group stages of a Women's World Cup. China have yet to be beaten by Denmark in 4 previous major tournament matchups, including an Olympic Games. But a reminder, this is Denmark's first World Cup since 2007. It's been a while. Difficult one to gauge, this one. Regulars at the European Championships, Denmark runners-up in 2017, failed to get out of the group at Euro 2022. It was a tough one though, just edged out by Germany and Spain. But a first chance for all of these players to make their World Cup bow. China coming into this off the back of qualifying via winning the Asian Cup last summer. Referee today is 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 of Canada. She was actually the referee for China's opening game of the World Cup in France. It was a narrow defeat to Germany in their opening game. Still managed to get out of the group stage. And the video assistant referee team, 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 of the USA, leads it. And they have been busy during this tournament so far. So all 11 starters in this Denmark team make their World Cup debut. 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓴𝓼 wins her 50th cap. Katrin 𝓣𝓱𝓪 is one of 3 Everton players in the 11, along with Karen Holmgaard and Nikoline Sorensen. 21-year-old Josephine Hesbo makes her major tournament debut in midfield alongside Arsenal's Katrin Kuhl. Denmark's record goal scorer Pernille Harder finally makes her World Cup bow. She was part of the Chelsea team that won last season's WSL title. As for China, Zhu Huan is preferred in goal. It's her first World Cup appearance. Lo Jiawei and Zhang Ri make their 3rd World Cup appearances. Wu Chengwu is in familiar surroundings. She spent last season competing in the Australian League with Canberra. Wang Shenshen is the main goal-scoring threat for this China team. She started the Asian Cup victory, scoring 5 goals, and she was also named player of the tournament. And Rachel Brown finished. It's another matchup that it's so difficult to predict pre-kickoff. This is why we love the World Cup. You get these teams who don't play each other often, although these two have faced each other a lot in this competition in particular.
Well, certainly China have been world dominators in past history in women's football. I was actually at the China against USA 1999 World Cup final. So they have been world superpowers, and they feel like they're getting that superpower back.
It's been a bit of a lean spell for China, and they had a quite horrendous Olympic Games in Tokyo. Heavy defeats in the group stages to the Netherlands, 8-2. They could only manage a 4-all draw with Zambia. But that solicited a change of coach, and Shui Xingxia has got them back on the right track, in charge for just 2 months before they won the Asian Cup. First chance for Denmark. And good decisive goalkeeping from Huan.
Yeah, she had to be brave down at that near post. See 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's intention. Lovely flick on, run across the near post. Well collected.
𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 helps it on. Here is Yang Lingyan trying to play it forward towards Chengwu. Well collected by Lena Christensen.
Both teams had arguably chances in the opening minute. Sign of things to come. End to end would be great.
I'm sure both these sides were preparing and getting in the zone, but they, I'm sure, will have been up to date with the other scoreline in Group D. England's narrow win over Haiti means it is very much up for grabs, this group. Difficult to predict who is going to progress.
Both these two teams got things to prove as well. Denmark, no World Cups since 2007. China sparse in their success in recent years.
The Denmark coach 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who has confirmed he will be leaving after this tournament. He's been there since 2017. Sorensen gives that ball away, and that's a foul. Surely. I spoke too soon.
I think she made the most of ensuring that she would have won a free kick for her team. The referee saw it as simulation. Definite foul.
𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Played at 2 Olympics as a player, won silver in Atlanta. Led the Chinese team to their first Asian Cup victory since 2006. Yao Wei plays it out. With a heavy touch there from Wu Chunwu, and eventually gives away the foul. It was cool. Lovely feet, and that was a little tug. A little glimpse of what she can offer.
Yeah, quick thinking, saw the player coming from her left-hand side, took it across her. Quick feet, good agility.
Bit sloppy there from Denmark. China will try to break, but funneling back, Denmark, and Wu Chunwu's ball was cut out.
She's got caught then, she's sliding in, yeah, can see, home guard. She plays the ball. Saw one. Neither team's really taken control of this game so far. See the two up front for China. They're trying to play it, every opportunity for it to stick.
Meng Wen with a bruising challenge. Harder, not allowed to turn. That's good play from China, trying to box Denmark in. Loose touch, though, from Lin Yan. And now Denmark can try and break. Sorensen. Not too much in the way of support, and that was a careless ball on the overlap. And again, given away way too easily by Kuhl this time. Nice play from Lin Yan. Floated in towards the box. It was Wu Chunyu who made the run. This could be a chance here. Over the bar. First effort on goal for China.
Some excellent composed little ratting around to win the ball back from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. It started a wave of attack from China. Not the greatest effort over the bar, but certainly got their bit between the teeth, China.
Looked dangerous on the transition. It's good harrying, hustling from Lo Jiawei. And usually plays as a centre-back, but is starting up front today. Quite a few of these Chinese players have been asked to play in different positions, in different tournaments.
We were saying before the game, it's quite hard to get statistics, even number of caps, formations on the Chinese women's national team. So I think surprises maybe to us.
Do well to win the ball back. Neat and tidy play at the back. Neither side really keeping the ball for too long, but here's Lo Jiawei wanting an option and finding one in Chung Hu. Harder showing her frustration there. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Another chance for China. Lin Yan forces the save.
She's not the brightest of all the Chinese players. She picks it up in a lovely pocket of space, turns and drives at the Danish defence. It's a decent strike. Lene Christensen, young, excellent goalkeeper for Denmark. Smartly to her left.
It's Lin Yan is a confident young player, 22 years old, and one of the 4 players that do play outside of China. Spent last season at Grasshoppers in the Swiss League and was named Player of the Season, and has stated she has ambitions to play in the Champions League. Sent forward by 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Bit of a hit and hope. That's easily dealt with.
Certainly the household name of Pernille Harder, who has been at Chelsea until this summer, has not had a sniff, not had the ball at all, been dispossessed once, not had the ball in her final third, which is where she can do damage.
Missed a big chunk of the season with that hamstring injury, but came back stronger, harder, faster. 5 goals in May to help Chelsea over the line, their WSL title tilt. And they lost their final warm-up game to Spain, Denmark, but previously had won 4 games, so decent run of form on the whole. I'm sure the excitement of being at a World Cup for the first time for all of these players will be very high.
Very similar in 2007 in China with World Cup. None of us had experienced a World Cup before. Actually, Mary Phillips had experienced the '99 World Cup, but not been used. So the majority, 22 out of 23, never been to a World Cup. It was unbelievable. Nerves, pride, every emotion you can think of. Never looked back, ever present since.
That's good play on the overlap. Lin Yen into the area, couple of options. That's really good play from 𝓳𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, forcing the mistake. Here's Lin Yen. Spell of pressure from China, still there. Chen Xiaoshu. 𝓳𝓲𝓷. Could have been an awkward one for Christensen, watched it all the way.
China were buzzing around down that left-hand side. Centrally, the dynamic runs of Zhang Linyan. She looks the dangerous one, doesn't she? But she's got to find someone on the ground. Too easy for Christensen to pluck those out the air.
China have always progressed from the group stages. When they've qualified for a World Cup, they've only missed one, 2011.
Argue that this is possibly the most critical game then for the promise of that qualification. You would expect as tough, if not tougher, test when they face England. Like every other team in this group, you would expect to beat Haiti, although England proved how hard that is.
Not a given, far from it. Denmark have been a little bit lax beginning of this game, but actually the Chinese have really disrupted them.
The energy levels are at top tilt right from the outset, China, and I think it's caught Denmark on the back foot.
Again, energetic player, one back, Zhang Linyan, and now a corner kick for China. Excellent play from Wu Chengwu as well.
Reminds me a little of the opening game, Norway-New Zealand. You know, 2 teams from different continents that you don't get to see or play against each other very often. And both European teams in those cases have been put on the back foot and not allowed to play.
It's going to be taken by Zhang Xin. A couple of years out after giving birth to her son. Teasing delivery. Goalkeeper came and got just enough on it to put out for another corner kick.
Oh, she did brilliantly there because she had to come through her defender Thompson as well as Chinese player to get something on it. Ideally, you want to be punching it, but she used those long, rangy arms of hers, Christensen, to get something and deflect it away.
Yao Wei over this one. Towards the near post. It's going to be a third successive corner. Simone Boy conceding this one.
Yeah, she did her job at the near post there. No gamble necessary. You can't let that go. Even if you get a shot from the keeper, you have to deal with it on that near post.
Away towards the goalkeeper again.
It's an excellent tactical nudge from Christensen there to give herself a little bit of space to get a clean punch on that ball. It's the job of that player to pin the goalkeeper.
Bo's touch, and again, under pressure, she gives it away. They're not being allowed an inch of time. And one back by Zhang Ri.
When they've got the ball around this back line in midfield, China look very, very comfortable with it. Finding those gaps through. They're not afraid to go long as well.
Bit of a miscommunication there. They look confident, though. They look like they're playing with a clarity.
Yes, a real style of play. Again, similar to New Zealand against Norway, it was a mismatch in a clear identity from New Zealand and clear identity from China, how they want to play and build through the thirds.
Again, communication perhaps could be slightly better there. Goalkeeper came.
But 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 put the pressure on, didn't she? Force them into a jittery moment.
Via the long diagonal, read and cut out by Chen Xiaoshu. Foul on Harder. Free kick for Denmark.
Denmark had nothing there. They were feeding off scraps. It was 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷 forced something from nothing. Absolutely. Very, very clever. Uses her body. Draws the foul from Lin Yanzhang. Pulls her shorts. And the first real opportunity for Denmark.
Let's see what they can do from the set piece. They've yet to have an attempt on goal, Denmark.
Can they test Xu Wan in goal?
Via with the left footer. Really well won. Towering header at the back from 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰. Flag is up.
I agree, offside. China back line was brilliantly drilled. Could see and hear the goalkeeper tell them to push out, and they did, just to perfect effect. Got really well to initially clear the ball in. But you feel with a height advantage generally across the team that Denmark have, that a set piece, they should be making it count.
Sent down the line. Well won by Hesbo. Multi-talented, the Danish midfielder. Currently at Harvard as well. Well, not at the moment, at a World Cup.
Yeah, USA continues to provide the opportunity to play in what feels like a professional level university team, as well as getting your degree alongside it. Amazing opportunity.
𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓴𝓼 header away. Cool. Surrounded, but she's still kept hold of it. Ball for Harder to chase. I think they need to find more creative ways than that.
Well, Harder will drop off the front line, and she'll come deeper to get on the ball and turn and drive. And she's not just a target player by far. You know, her best probably position is in that 10, dropping to get the ball to feet. She's very athletic in the air as well.
Flicked on, but flicked away and very wide from Cool.
That was a chance, though. There was no engagement of pressure from the China defence, almost a free shot for Cool. She'll be a bit annoyed that she didn't make more of it.
I see some committed fans far from home.
It's great, isn't it, seeing the thousands of people from across the world going to a place, possibly a lot of them, like we will be soon, that they've never been to before. Experiences and sights and sounds they've never seen before.
China showing their commitment to the cause. A little bit too much weight on that pass. At the moment, China the more skilled at keeping the ball. Go long. But sloppy once again. Zhang Ri dispossessed, but 𝓣𝓱𝓪 pursued by a swarm of yellow shirts.
You see how high just got your front two, and then China just wanted to buzz around and not make it easy in possession for Denmark.
𝓣𝓱𝓪. She's actually scored for the national team since that wonderful run at Euro 2017. 𝓣𝓱𝓪 gets her head to the ball. Home guard, setting her options. 𝓣𝓱𝓪. Well cut out, good positioning. Nearly fell there for Woo Chung-woo.
Denmark are wanting to get home guard on the ball. She anchored just in front of the back four. And that's where the Chinese pairing up top. Hu Zhiwen and Wang Shenshen are trying to stop that delivery to her. But when home guard gets the ball, she's got to play it quicker. She's sort of the Keira Walsh position of the Denmark team.
Denmark's first World Cup since 2007. They hadn't progressed from the group stages in the two previous editions which they participated. 𝓲𝓷𝓲 takes it on. Sorensen, good tracking.
That's 𝓲𝓷𝓲 at best, getting the ball, turning, driving at defences.
Bayer gets the cross in, nearly found Esbo. Holmgaard, closed down. And the header. Fell straight for Thompson. But again, that was heading well wide. China under a bit of pressure suddenly. Sorensen can't keep hold of it.
Not quite the same composure from China in that defensive third. Out of possession, hurling themselves at balls, snatching at balls. Certainly a better spell for Denmark in the opening 20 minutes, really. Been dominated by China.
Galway sends it back to the goalkeeper. Slightly risky from Sorensen. And they are just starting to find their feet, find their rhythm. China still trying to disrupt that.
Denmark allowing China to have the ball in possession with the centre halves. Dropping off and compacting it so they can't play through midfield and having to play long.
Play out from a fairly half-hearted press there. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. It's an easy one for the keeper.
Well, that's how Denmark want to build. They want to play from the goalkeeper or centre-half to Holmgaard in that holding position. And look for the wide players, stretch out China. Oh, good pressing from 𝓲𝓷𝓲.
What we come to expect from Pernille Harder. She has got the quality, but she's also got the work rate. Can't afford to be hesitant when she's around. Let's give it away to Kuhl, who once again shows exquisite close control. Long diagonal. Knocked down by 𝓲𝓷𝓲. January makes the clearance.
Clever play from 𝓲𝓷𝓲, watching her run. She gets between the full-back and the centre-half, drags them out, pushes them back as far as possible. Comes that long ball option.
Referee happy with that. It's a little suspect, I've got to say.
Didn't seem to be a tugging of the shirt, so if it's just contact, play on.
That's a clever ball towards Thompson, but not one but two players there to shepherd it out of play.
Just ran out of yards, didn't she there, Thompson?
It's confirmation that the captain, Wang Shen, who scored 5 goals at the Asian Cup, is playing as a centre-half today.
And she's been used as both in the national team. Like Rachel Daly.
We get another go at that. Chen Xiaoshu.
Neither team yet created a golden opportunity. A lot of work from China, a lot of hustle from Denmark.
That's good play. Somehow China come away with the ball. Zhang Ri. Shen, the right-sided centre-half. Lovely bit of movement there, dropping deep to receive. Plenty of runners forward here. Christensen prevents the corner.
It's really good interchange between Wu Shenhu and Shen Zhuzhu. Stretching out the left. Just needed that little flick inside and she'd have been through.
Zhao Wei didn't quite keep hold of it. That looked like it had just strayed out of play, but difficult one to assess. Thompson prevented from making ground. Prolonged spell of control this for China. That is really good play. One-touch pass, but Zhao Wei's touch just lets her down a tad. Denmark can't get out. That looks a very strong challenge. But as the referee has shown already this half, she is happy to let things go.
There's nothing wrong with that tackle at all. It was just a full-blooded tackle. I think it was Yang Na, and it was a follow-through, really, that, you know, it's all ball, look there. It's a follow-through that catches it. Zhao Wei, good, strong. Everything you want from a first World Cup in a long time. These players are hungry. They've been waiting a while as well for their opener. There's been a lot of pent-up anticipation of this game.
Just over half an hour played. Chance for a drinks break and some tactical instruction. Not too much in the way of goal-scoring opportunity for either side, really. 2 attempts each. They've all been in from outside the box, and there's only been 1 shot on target from Zhang Lingyan.
Yeah, I was going to say, neither goalkeeper tested at all. Couple of testing crosses that Christensen's dealt with excellently, and this is probably the best of the opportunities, the only one, as you said, on target. But she has looked, Zhang Lingyan, the liveliest of the players. Just maybe snatched, didn't get, you know, full contact through that ball.
They clearly expected a little bit more. Premature celebration there. I like the confidence.
Absolutely.
Thompson will, of course, want to continue. Established part of the front three. Pretty settled side going into this one for Denmark. Consistent starting 11 for the warm-up friendlies. Simone Boy, formerly of Arsenal, currently of Hammarby in Sweden. Long Wen. Katrin Bai, good strength to win it back, finds 𝓣𝓱𝓪. Trying to have it back. Lovely sharp turn. Zhao Wei. Trying to work the crossing opportunity, perhaps. Step over, works the space, it's a good-looking ball. Woo Chung-yu couldn't quite generate enough power, but fantastic play from 𝓳𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
Oh, it was exciting, wasn't it? A lovely bit of flair. Step over, twisting and turning. The fullback. Decent cross in, but just muscled out. Good defending from Denmark.
𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with the long diagonal.
Denmark have looked best when they've got the ball down and played it through midfield. Get onto home guard, and then the pitch in front opens up. That's where they've been most effective.
We're still on penalty watch, aren't we? Every single game so far has had at least one.
That's it, with VAR, there's nothing's missed.
Nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. I think, was it only 3 of 8 penalties taken have been scored, or 4 of 8? Not great. And even when you score, you have to get it retaken, because the goalkeeper's moved. Nothing's missed. So tough being a goalkeeper nowadays.
You feel for the young'uns, do you?
And Christensen, talking of young'uns, goalkeeper, Denmark's Young Player of the Year. High expectations of her.
And #1 at 23 years old. Not very common as a goalkeeper. Jang-ri somehow comes out with that and plays in Jang Sin. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 stepping out, anticipating, making the interception. Here's Katrin Kuhn. Great awareness to spot the run of 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Poor, I think Thompson probably would have been offside, but either way.
Not quite sure what 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 was aiming for.
Shen delivers long and out of play. Good play from Hesbo, managed to wriggle out of a tight situation. Not sticking for Denmark. Mong-wen goes long.
It's China are finding the width to such good success. Loose touch there, but that's where they're looking dangerous.
Real sustained possession still.
It's a little bit anxious, isn't it? And it's not a huge amount of composure from either team in possession.
China showing a little bit now. Chao Shu. Fence-splitting ball from Shen. Back with 𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Can't take too many touches against this Chinese team.
You are swarmed.
They will get you. That's a loose touch from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, straight to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Unsurprisingly, given the location, it is more of a home-sounding crowd for China.
The things that this lady will have seen over the years, how women's football has changed both in her own country and on a global scale. Having sell-out stadiums all round, from people from all around the world. Continue to be on that journey, and it's so wonderful to see.
That's promising, 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Now that should be a yellow card. No attempt to play the ball as Zhang Linlian threatened to scutter away, and a yellow card for 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
She knew she wasn't catching it, 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Lovely little cut through, just puts her arm across it. So obvious, just takes a stride off balance then. Zhang Linlian.
Great play once again from the winger, and she's been asked a lot of questions, 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
She will be not looking forward to the next 60 minutes. And I say 60 at least.
Another VAR review, so hopefully not too much stoppage time at the end of this one. Away delivers. Towards the edge of penalty area, chance! Zhang Linlian, it just wouldn't quite drop for her. Just ran away from her at the final minute.
I feel if the first goal's going to come for China, it's going to come down this left-hand side via Zhang Linlian. Either from her or her scampering past 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓰, squaring it.
Cool. Slight error, mistake, and now Denmark could be in here. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, she's got the legs to keep it in. In comes the ball, and Zhang Ri makes the headed clearance.
Beautiful run from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Looks fractionally offside, but no flag. And that's what 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 is all about, making something of nothing. Great ball across. And a chance for Denmark. They've had very little in open play. Clappy hat.
That is tremendous. A hat that claps for you. What will they think of next? How do you deal with this sort of 6-yard box?
It's terrific. As a goalkeeper, if you're 6'5" or if you're 5'5", it's so hard. You've got the majority of both teams within an inch of you.
Fire delivers. It was a good punch by the goalkeeper, and that was possibly always going to be the outcome.
You should see from the replay how difficult it is to have a goalkeeper's view from there. All you can see in this case is red and yellow and just bodies, and there's very little space for you to move. You can see the job of the Danish fullback, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓰, pin the goalkeeper, and she does really well, the goalkeeper, Xu Wan, to find a little route through to get something on the ball. But when you've got a situation with that many players, the referee's always going to be watching to see if goalkeeper particularly is impeded.
Almost drawing too much attention to it by having that many players in the vicinity.
That was always a setup from Scandinavian teams, Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Always one, put everyone around the goalkeeper, whip it in. Oh, awful.
Thompson keeps hold of it. Here's 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Holmgaard. Final minute of normal time at the end of the first half.
I think Denmark will go in glad they haven't conceded. Because certainly in the final third, China have looked the kind of more fluid, the more dangerous, the more energised. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 has been a bit of a lone figure up top for Denmark.
Jansen. Harder. Options in front. Forced to check back. 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Sold Holmgaard a little bit short there. China will try and pounce forward. Eventually the referee blows for a free kick for China.
I'm not sure we'll see it, but the combination that worked really well then was Katarina Kuhl threading the ball beautifully through to 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷, and he'll be able to take it on the half turn. That is what Denmark need to be insisting that there's more of in the second half.
It's just 2 minutes of time added on. Familiar for these teams like China, similar to New Zealand, who have been playing well with a clear game plan, but just perhaps lacking a little bit of that cutting edge.
Yeah, and in Denmark's case, not as clear a game plan, but more threatening weapons in regards to personnel that they have on the pitch.
China trying to fashion one more opportunity. Zhang Ri. It's a good deep cross, but it evades everyone. Seen how to play by 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. First female head coach and the first ex-international to take charge of China. And it is the Chinese who have just edged a pretty close, competitive first half. They've looked the brighter, they've had the better chances, but neither side have really tested the goalkeeper in the first half. Still an intriguing game between the Asian Cup winners and Denmark, who are participating in their first World Cup since 2007. Half-time. Denmark 0, China 0.
Well, if ever there was a half of football that said goalless draw all over it, that was it, wasn't it? Their expected goals are Denmark 0.4 and China 0.32. So, yeah, it was pretty quiet around the goal mouths of both teams, and that was down, perhaps, Jonas, to the way China set up and stifled Denmark. let's be honest, not the most thrilling 45 minutes of football we've seen this World Cup so far.
Yeah, maybe not from a goal perspective, but from a tactical perspective, I think China is doing it really, really well. I mean, they're setting up in a 4-4-2 formation. They're really compact between the lines. So the distance between their defending line, midfield line and forward line is always like 20 meters. So it makes every time Denmark is trying to play inside their organization, there's constantly a Chinese player putting pressure onto them, and they can pick up the ball into the transitions. So I think what Denmark needs to do, instead of trying to play these balls inside the organization, they need to try and play ball wide and around the organization and try to move them, because in football you always have to cover something and have to give away another area.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was literally trying to move the ball. Like there, I think she just needs to hold the ball up, set it, move them around. Then the spaces will start to come apparent out wide. Get the ball in the box and hopefully goals.
We all sit here watching this, obviously, making those observations. When you're in the middle of that as a player, because that makes perfect sense. Why is she not doing that? Why? Why does the player not then kind of see that they're not making progress through the middle because of the way the other team's set up and make those decisions themselves?
For me, I think, coming from a player's perspective, you probably work on plans throughout the week where you're drilled in to make certain passes and you try so hard to stick to that plan, and sometimes maybe the first one doesn't go right, so you try again. And I think Denmark have fell into China's trap of playing inside, and China have done really, really well around getting around first and second balls and really stopped Denmark's momentum. But I think, as well, it's the first game of World Cup for both teams. There's a lot of young players on show, so it'll be quite nerve-wracking and there's a lot of pressure there. And obviously, when you are in the game, it does feel a little bit more faster than what we probably perceive on TV.
So 𝓣𝓱𝓷𝓷𝓷, the Danish manager, will be looking at that and hopefully telling his women how to make those changes at half-time.
And he's such a tactically driven coach, Lars. I know him well. Like, he will be all up in their positioning. So I definitely think he will position players wider to get those opportunities to start moving the ball wide. But I also think he's not happy with the positions where 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷 is picking up the ball in, because she gets so much pressure onto her. So I think he might be looking to play a more dedicated 9 in front of 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓲𝓷 to try and get that space. And I think you made a great point about when 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓲𝓷 turns and runs with the ball, that she needs to have a player in front of her.
Yeah. We were saying maybe Brun to come on. So she's an out-and-out 9, so then 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷 can come in that middle where there's a lot of space, turn, move with the ball. You've got an out-and-out 9, then occupy in those centre halves. Then can we move it out wide? And she's still in on the ball. She's making it happen in those central spaces.
Because from a central defender perspective, Steph, like how does that impact you if you defend a player like Harder, if you have a 9 as well to take care of?
I mean, then both centre-halves are occupied, which normally when you have one striker, there's one actually occupying the centre-forward and there's one covering, whereas if they are moving together and someone's stretching it, it leaves big spaces, and then if your midfield come in, there's a lot of space in front of the midfield, so it's kind of a knock-on effect. And I think there was one clip in the game where 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲's got the ball and she's running, but none of her teammates can catch her up because she's the furthest player forward, and you can't really sustain attacks like that. She has to come back out again and the moment's gone.
Well, there were no shots for Denmark on target. There's one for China. So shall we see it? Because we haven't seen any goals. Linyan Zhang, this is your moment. Early in the game, it amounted, obviously, in the end to nothing. But at this point, early in the game, when you see China taking a chance like this, you think, oh, OK, they might be up for this.
Yeah, lovely bit of space, beautiful turn. And then she does get a little bit crowded out, kind of doesn't get enough power on the shot. But again, it was a great chance, obviously, for China. And it kind of, I wanted to be like, keep going, like, get shots on target, get in those spaces, turn, move the ball. Hopefully, we've got another 45 minutes. So.
Absolutely. And 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓷, who you've signed, you said when you were talking about what you'd like to kind of see her develop into in the WSL was somebody whose decision-making will grow. And you said during that game you saw examples of where that can be something she can work on. And I guess that's what we're talking about, isn't it? Making those decisions, especially where she's in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I think you could see in the beginning of the game, she's a young player. She was a little bit nervous. She had this period where she misplayed 3 passes in a row. But of course, like, what I like with her is that she keeps trying. She's not afraid of having the ball, which is a great skill to have. But because the space is so congested there, she's going to be one of the key decision makers to play the ball outside the organization. I just wanted to say one thing with China when I saw them in the Asia Cup, because I think they have some really good technical players up front. We see some great turns, but what they did really well there was when they started to cross the ball in, they invested more players inside the box. And we haven't seen that a lot in this first half. Like, they really have had a defensive approach. Like, they don't want to lose balance at all for it. But I think if they're going to have a chance to win this game, they need to invest 1 or 2 more players coming into the box, into those situations, because otherwise they're not going to be a threat enough against Denmark.
So tactical changes needed by both teams as they head into the second half. Tonight at 7 on BBC 3, we're going to round up all the action from this busy day 3 of the World Cup. And World Cup coverage continues tomorrow morning when Sweden get their tournament underway against South Africa in Group G. Coverage gets underway at 5:45, so get the coffee on, Jonas.
Welcome to a most dangerous game.
There's $250,000 up for grabs.
Everyone's playing their own game.
I'm not a trader. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Everyone's on edge.
Why are you looking so uncomfortable? That does not matter.
It does matter.
Who are we murdering tonight?
Ooh, who was it?
Why are you going against the faithful?
I would like to leave the room, please.
The Traders Australia. Watch now on BBC iPlayer.
Earlier today, England's World Cup campaign began. Here are all the key moments with Simon Brotherton.
England are under pressure at the other end here. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. First big chance for Haiti in the match. Bronze going for the header. No joy for her on this occasion. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, does it just touch the fingers of the right hand?
I think it does.
Penalty for England. Handball. Big opportunity for England here in this first half. And an opportunity not taken. What a save! 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with a flying stop. The goalkeeper has come off the line. That's why the referee is awarding a retake of the penalty kick. Stanway with a second chance. She takes it this time. England 1, Haiti 0. Well, it hasn't been a vintage opening half an hour from England's point of view, but they do have the lead. Bronze losing out and on the touchline, down on the ground. Brought into action really seriously for the first time in the match. Haiti threatening an equaliser here early in the second half.
Mary Earps not convincing with that save.
And towards Rousseau. Tip behind by Teus.
Looping header from Rousseau. Teus does just enough, tapping it over the bar.
Haiti getting the support of the Australian crowd, but Kelly sends it over. Daly with the header. There's been a more direct threat in the last few minutes with Daly's presence in the middle.
She's not tall, but she's dangerous.
Most of all, it was a relief. And yes, it's very important to start good with a win. And I think it was a very hard game for us.
Not scoring from open play again. What is not quite clicking in front of goal at the moment?
Yeah, just the last thing, get the ball in the back of the net.
You always spoke very respectfully about Haiti going into the game, but were, as a team, even you surprised slightly at just how much they fought tonight?
No, not at all. I think from what we've seen, like, they were powerful, strong, very much counter-attacking, put threats in behind, but for us we knew that we just needed to deal with those, and at times we have to play ugly, and that's what tonight we faced, but again it's about getting the win and moving on.
We can't shy away from the fact that the team's changed a lot in a short space of time, but no, I think we're all in a good place. We're really enjoying the team atmosphere. Yeah, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and I think we just need to relax, just enjoy the process, not get too far ahead of ourselves. The same with the fans, just relax. Yeah, we're okay and we'll continue to lioness.
Continuing to lioness, that is exactly what they have to do. A win is a win, but I guess we expect from the team that we saw last year, winning the Euros, that, you know, they're going to go into this World Cup as one of the favourites and have emphatic scorelines against a debutante team that many people expected would be easily rolled over, and they were not.
No, that's what, yeah, I think if you would have looked on paper, you would have thought one of the lowest ranked teams in Haiti, England going in, European champions, you know, you would have wanted a lot of goals, wouldn't you? Momentum, confidence, but...
Well, you look at Spain scoring 3 goals, USA scoring 3 goals,
yeah.
you know, Japan scoring 4 goals this morning. So you're expecting England to be in that kind of group, aren't you?
So I don't know whether they felt that pressure, obviously nerves, that first game of the tournament, you've been watching all the other games, the anticipation for it to begin. Haiti played very well. Did they catch England off guard a little bit? I think so. And, yeah, we just need to convert some more chances. Obviously, Mary kept us in the game as well, but 3 points is 3 points ultimately. Yeah,
we'll have a look at Mary's saves in a moment. But let's have a look at a couple of the incidents. There was a no-pen decision from VAR, which involved Chloe Kelly having a moment, a little stamp on her. What were your thoughts when you saw this in real time initially?
I think we were all shouting penalty, to be honest. I think as soon as Chloe goes down, she doesn't really go down for much. And I look at that tackle there, and that could have been a lot more dangerous. But
it was
𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's foul there, wasn't it? Which yeah, that caused the no penalty. I don't think she's meant to do that, Russo, but it is a foul that stopped the defender getting to the ball, and the referee had to go back and look at the screen.
The referee went to the screen quite a lot, and it wasn't long before she was back at the screen, Ellen.
Yeah.
And this time, it was a lot more clear-cut.
Yeah. Don't put your hands in the air, basically. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Clear handball. Obviously, Lucy's going up for that header, and, yeah, she's clearly handballed it there. So, blatant penalty.
It was almost a volleyball move, wasn't it? And then an incident again, because another check, because goalie off the line and penalty taken again. It looked like a great save, but...
Yes. No, yeah, I thought it was an absolutely brilliant save from the goalie, and obviously went to VAR, and obviously again the ref was a bit tired going back and forth. But Georgia, brilliant composure. Obviously disappointment straight away to obviously miss the penalty, but then great composure to retake and score.
Yeah, and that will give her great confidence as well, because England's recent penalty kind of ratio hasn't been great, has it? Especially the last World Cup, a few penalties missed in the last World Cup, so that gets, you know, a bit of confidence going. Well,
swiftly move on.
Well, this
Swiftly move on.
Steph, no word on that. But this World Cup, you know, it's not been great, has it? The penalty taking. That was the 8th penalty, and only 3 of them have gone in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, I think you're looking at 79% of all penalties. They result in a goal, so we're quite far off that mark. So probably it all evens out in the end. So probably all penalties going to be scored on in the end of the tournament.
And Mary Epps, as we mentioned there, really had a couple of blinding saves, didn't she? Because Haiti were not scared of attacking. They weren't just about defending and putting players behind the ball, were they? They wanted to go for this.
And that was an absolute bullet of a shot as well. She done really well to get both hands on the ball and just parry that. One hand even, great wrist. And again, this save is unbelievable. This kept England in the game. Lovely kind of turn, great set off, lovely touch, and yeah, big strong leg.
I love that save. It's from me being Swedish. It's an ice hockey goalkeeper save where they just slide out with a leg, making themselves really big in front of goal.
She had a big smile on her face at the end of the match, Mary Epps. I think she knew she'd gonna, you know, clean sheet, get through that. 3 points for England. Let's get to the other game in their group, though, the second half of China against Denmark. It's goalless, and China's tactics keeping Denmark out. What can Denmark do to break the deadlock in the second half? Let's go back to Rachel Brown-Finnis and Robin Cowan.
Thank you, Gabby. Well, it looks like China have blinked first in terms of the personnel, and it is their superstar player who's come on for the second half, Wang Shuang of Racing Louisville, formerly of Paris Saint-Germain. She is just a little bit of stardust in this Chinese team. We just have to see if she can make the difference.
Yeah, surprised she wasn't starting, to be honest. She said one of the more recognisable names out of this China team.
She will just about get onto this one. Wang Shuang. Teasing ball in. Over the top. Li Mengwen with the effort.
It's an emphatic start, isn't it? Bar the goal, she should have done better. Right-footed, but had that corridor of space to be able to thread it through and really test Christensen. Again, China are the ones to set their intentions, as they did in the first half.
A couple of seconds thought there, the referee. Eventually she's given the foul. It was Zhang Linyan in the first half who with the most likely real nuisance down the left-hand side.
Yeah, and then to have Wang Shuang on the right-hand side, it's a double problem for Denmark.
Made her debut age 17. This is her third World Cup. Characteristic of Kuhl for her control to let her down there. Chen Xiaoshu takes it up. Yan Lina. Given away cheaply. Cool. They've got it back. And that's another cynical foul. Again, you'd think so anyway. Referee unmoved. Jia Wei trying to bulldoze her way through, and Wang Shuang effort on target, but too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, goalkeeper's positioning here is excellent. If she wasn't off, a couple of yards off her line, this was flying to the back of the net because you could see the angle behind the camera. That left-hand side, as Wang Shuang was looking, was open. Decent strike.
Harder hurdles the challenge. Delivers. Chance for Esbo. Closed down quickly. Corner kick.
Excellent block on Hesbo there. Couple of chances to clear it, China. Here's the chance. Rebounds. Wang Shuang. Great positioning from Christensen. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, dangerous. First time. Scuffs it cleared. But excellent block from Zhang Ri.
Over 150 caps for China. Midfielder Zhang Ri. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
Sondergaard doesn't look thrilled with this team's performance so far.
Slightly pained expression.
So it's similar to the lacklustre Norway performance we were talking at half-time between us. European teams have not really hit the ground running. Spain, best of them. Been a bit underwhelming so far.
So it might be a case of a slow burn, but you can't really afford that in the World Cup. Here's Sorensen. Trying to work the space for the cross. And what a miss, Esbo. The goal at her mercy. Completely miscues the header.
What a golden opportunity for Denmark. Really something of nothing, and then 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 serves it across, a deflection of the near post, and what a miss from Hesbo. What is she, 10 yards out, if that? Just needs to direct it goalwards. Gets underneath it and jumps up and through the ball and over.
The best chance of the game, an open goal. Denmark, though, starting to turn up the heat a little. Sørensen. Cool. Rides a couple of challenges. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Forced all the way back. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 goes long. On guard. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Sørensen.
Other than the outcome, a much, much better play from Denmark. See, it switched it from right to left, took care with their passes. There was tempo on the passes. Much more purposeful build-up.
A bit more of Sørensen as well. Healthy Chinese contingent. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 fighting harder forward, and good decision from the goalkeeper. Denmark a little stretch though. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Makes the clearance. Nicely done from Shen. That's an excellent ball to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Game's getting a bit stretched now.
Well, both teams like a direct ball. We've just seen evidence of that. Both goalkeepers on that front foot, ready to clear up behind that back line. Good goalkeeping from both Xu Wen and Lene Christensen. Fractional call. But offside it was. You can't switch off as a goalkeeper, ever. Showing that both haven't. It's a heavy challenge on Wang Shen just earlier. Saw her linger on the ground for a little while. But as captain and arguably star player, she will stay on the pitch, no doubt.
Running up at centre-half today. But, a regular goal scorer, including in World Cups. Back in 2015, he scored against New Zealand and the winner against Cameroon in the round of 16. So it could be pushed up if needed. Shui Xingcha was keen to emphasise that she felt, at least, there's a significant gap between her team and European opposition. Hasn't been too much evidence of that today.
Hard to get a real feel for it until you're at a tournament where you're playing European teams. As obvious as that might sound, but you know, most of the players play in the Chinese Women's Super League. And she's seen the growth of European football, seen the crowds attended by Italian stadiums, Spanish, and certainly the Women's Super League in England this year.
Țăvăcă launches it in. And Schwang make her way upfield, but Sorensen was there, had to do the defensive duty. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 onto 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Cool. Tireless Catherine Weyer. Sorensen was towards Harder, and that was a crucial intervention from Chen Xiaoshui.
Brilliant header. That had Pernille Harder's head on that all day. A lovely ball in on this left-hand side, right-footed in-swinger. Keeper definitely can't come for it. Got to trust that her defender can match the efforts of Pernille Harder, and she does so brilliantly. Thumbs up for the ball. High fives to the defender.
Just starting to threaten Denmark after a flat first half. It's going to be another Catherine Weyer corner. Flipped back in.
Chinese defensive in those last-ditch opportunities, the craning and stretching of bodies and necks, done so well. Does look a bit scrappy, do look a bit susceptible. At the back, that's what Denmark are preying on.
That's well read. Cut out. Cool though, can't keep hold of it. Zhao Wei found on the half turn. Here is Zhang Linyan. Trying to get the better of her. Hopeful ball across. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's header only as far as Chen Xiaoshui. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 this time, preventing a clear header on goal.
Just where home guard picked it up on the edge of the area, that's where China need to have an option. So many times they've been wide down the left, particularly, and a hopeful ball more than anything into the box comes across, and it's easily dealt with Denmark. If they've got the cutback option on the edge of the box, that could be the key to unlocking. Certainly get shots on target.
Is England next for Denmark? Have that one for you on Friday morning, bright and early.
Yeah, great opportunity for all four teams in the group to be eyeing up what each other's brought to this World Cup.
Home guard. And Schwang. Deft touch. Tries to set Linyan away. And then she's pulled up for the foul. No enthusiasm to try and win the ball back.
You can hear what the crowd think of that. You can see that Boy is the one holding Zhang Linyan's shirt. You can see why she was aggrieved by that decision. Great hustle back.
First change for Denmark. Katrin Kuhl withdrawn, and Signe Brun has just joined Real Madrid from Lyon and has an exceptional record at international level. 18 goals in 33 previous appearances, 13 coming in World Cup qualifying. Well, she'll be the foil for Pernille Harder, perhaps. Draws the foul from Yao Wei.
Well, that's what Ellen White called for at half-time, for Pernille Harder to have someone in front of her. A slight tactical tweak from Søndergaard. Pernille Harder is undoubtedly better in that role where she can pick the ball up and drive and have someone to thread it through to, or someone to distract a defender, open it up for her to run into and shoot.
Does seem to be a problem at international level when you have an absolute top world-class player. You've got some very good quality players around you, but how do you best get the best out of them? It's difficult.
That's it, because when we watch Norway and Hegerberg's a world-class player, we got nothing out of her. So, whether you look, you have to, as a head coach, look at what's best for the team. How do we get success for the team? And in this case, for Denmark, it has to be to get Pernille Harder on the ball.
And for a start, more precision on those through balls.
We've seen them go pretty direct in an attempt to do so, to get Pernille Harder on the ball. I like how they built up in this second half.
Well, certainly more threatening. Ðeðrická trying to bulldoze her way through.
It's great feet in the end.
Pulls nicely here for Via. Sorensen. Not a bad idea. Just looking a little bit more dynamic, a bit quicker.
When Denmark go wide, though, they're stretching China out, and that makes them more disorganised. When Sorensen's had that joy down the left-hand side, fed it to Hesbo for the best chance that Denmark have had. Søndergaard and Denmark would definitely want to see more of that. Yeah, late from Harder there, no doubt on that. She's very good at having not a lot of supply, but maintaining her calm about things, and she can do very little, or seemingly do very little, with regards to touches on the ball, and boom, win you the game. She's a world-class player, Pernille Harder.
Be lining up for Bayern Munich next season. Chao Shu, played by Simone Boy. Picked up by Holmgaard. It's unfortunate for Brun. Given back, this could be an opportunity. Wang Shuang. Well off target in the end, but it opened up nicely for her.
Yeah, desperate to get it on a favoured foot, wasn't she? Playing on this right-hand side, but wanted to cut in on her left-hand side. Takes up a lovely position, half-turn. Doesn't get the pressure, really, from the Danish defence. With their goal-scoring record, should have done better. Signs of how open this game is, with chances at both ends.
Sorensen. And a lonely furrow there. Vi. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
China seems to have faded a little, the hustle out of possession.
And 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 goes direct. That is going to be a foul. Chungwoo.
Good play. Has a little look right, has a little look left, takes her on, commits. Simone Boy. This could be a good position. China have got to keep it away from the goalkeeper if they're going to float it in. We've seen when they've been down the left or right, cutting it in with any sort of steep or height on it. It's favourable for the Danes.
A few targets there, China, but yeah, mainly more height in the Danish back line. Dangerous looking ball, and 𝓤𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 puts it over her own bar.
It's a great ball in, really good ball in, and it just had the pace on it, just needed a run across to get any kind of deflection. 𝓤𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, thankfully for Denmark, was watching it all the way in a committed header over the bar.
And 𝓳𝓸𝓲. Corner duty now. Excellent defensive header, 𝓤𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 once again. Xiaoshu just lost the ball. Goal kick.
That's a great corner in. Wang Shuang, left foot in swing, a real power on it. Problematic. Just haven't got a real focal point centrally, China. I do think that Wang Shuang has made a difference and could be the difference if China were to get anything goal-wise from this game.
Sorensen. Managed to find room for the cross, but couldn't find a teammate. Wang Shuang.
Really nice build-up play from China. One touch, layoffs, know where their teammates are going, know where their teammates are going to be or need to be. To have that real flow of possession out from the back. But at that top end of the pitch, a bit found wanting.
Spell a couple of minutes ago where Denmark were really on top, but again, they haven't really got near the goalkeeper. 𝓤𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Good burst from her, but intercepted. That's nice play from China. Oh, 𝓤𝓲𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 has missed it. Lin Yan. Forced to come back. Floated cross in, away by Holmgaard. And over the top from Zhang Ri.
I don't really feel she believes she could have scored from there. Didn't have a huge amount of conviction. Wang Shuang was free at the back. If she could have only picked her out, number 7 who came on at half-time was loitering. And again, that decisive, incisive final pass just wasn't good enough from China.
Holmgaard taking up a good position there. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 again with the long diagonal from the back towards 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. A bit sloppy, that did come off the referee. And a drop ball.
Yeah, right call. Trying to work really hard to regain possession. Just tackled by the ref.
𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 coming off for Denmark. Just a couple of flashes. Rijke Marie Madsen coming on her World Cup debut. Another member of the squad who plays in America in the NWSL for North Carolina Courage. With the world-famous coach.
Handsome Dawes. No?
Who's that?
Which one?
Yes,
of course. UNC has got such heritage.
Big influence on Sarina Wiegman as well.
World famous coach, gotcha.
Here is January. Kept hold of it for a little too long there. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 has won it back. Free kick.
With the level of contact this referee's let go in this game, I'm surprised that was given. There was no shirts pulled from first look. Bit of an arm tug, but clever from Thompson. Good little burst between them. Felt that China had dealt with it defensively. Now there's an opening for a set piece.
By Bayer. How close was that? So nearly an own goal by the captain.
I think she forgot she was playing in defence. Plays up front to score so many goals. Wang Shenshen. Wow, that was close. Regardless, it's only a corner.
It's also nearly an assist for Boy. It might just take something like that for a goal for this game.
There's very little. There's been few golden chances other than a 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Missed header.
Right, with a looped one towards Boy.
Now the goalkeeper really being tested. It's not been a huge amount of chances from open play. We've not had our penalty yet though, Robin. Standard daily penalty.
Correct. We're going to be the one left out, 15 minutes to go. Harder. Long one. As well defensively. On the whole, they've looked pretty solid, China, and difficult to break down.
But we're entering that territory of time in a match where, you know, his quick feet get a little more sluggish. The likes of Pernille Harder and the speed of her movement could draw the Chinese players into a late tackle.
Given to Bayer towards the back post, and Madsen was there, and she's cleaned out by the goalkeeper.
Well, I hope the goalkeeper got something on that, which I think from first thought she did. Committed both players. The Danish bench are definitely having a look. If she hasn't, we could be seeing a VAR review. Brilliant goalkeeping. It's my first instinct, but I always have to rewind to make sure I'm not having any bias towards that decision. Being a former goalkeeper, so
that membership
excellent.
of the union.
But I mean, look at
goalkeepers.
That is a clear header, free header for Madsen, 2.5, 3 yards out. Unless she went, gets a punch on it. Brave, excellent, assertive goalkeeping from her. And that's what you get if you try and challenge a goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box.
To show she's concentrating, because she hasn't had an awful lot to do, maybe a little bit more towards the end of the second half. A second change for China. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 coming off. And I believe a debut for the senior team. Shen Mengyu plays her club football at Celtic. Won the Scottish Cup at the end of last season. Giving away some tired legs, not surprising from Zhang Linyan, who was leading the charge in the first half. Mengyu in space. Li Na. Wang Shuang did well to create the space.
Did very well to create the space, but when it doesn't come off and you don't score a goal, your teammates are furious around you. And the likes of us are picking apart what else she could have done. She got that. She's been not shy about spinning and shooting since she's come on. Shuang Wang.
It's careless from Harder this time to give it away. Well, one back. Again, that looked like a foul, but can't say this referee hasn't been consistent on the whole. By now, these players will know what they're going to get.
And I'd much rather it swayed towards allowing more contact than blowing up for every little bit. It's much more true to the nature of football.
Wang Shuang opts to pass it this time. Teasing ball. Chen Xia-Xu. Awkward looping cross in. Whistle had already gone. Flag up for offside.
Good little passage of play from China. Again, Sean, they're not done. They may look like they're flagging a little bit, but they're just conserving and then...
Chance here for Pernilla Harder. Has she done too much? One touch too many, perhaps.
When you see Pernilla Harder between the two centre-halves, that often spells real danger, and it was so easy to do. Long ball, taking it down, ultimately shepherded really well wide.
Did take a little touch, the Chinese player.
Her eyes would have lit up when she got that ball through. See her movement just a little bit deeper. Sinja Bruyn is the one who flicks it on. Lovely little touch on her chest across. And it's good defending from Yao Wei to follow her every move.
It was a tremendous recovery, wasn't it? So they looked totally exposed there. Home guard. Chances starting to come for both sides here. Nice play, Madsen. Brun deflected away for a corner.
It's a lovely cutback from Madsen, who got beyond the defender. The right back for China, cut it back, found Senior Brun really beautifully. Good pace on the ball, so she could hit it first time. Lovely drilled pass. Whether that was going wide, that was my instinct initially, but the goalkeeper wasn't sure. She was diving. The defender made sure that it wasn't going in the back of the net. Denmark know they're entering this last sort of 10 minutes of the game where they've got to make something count.
Another corner from the boot of 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. 8 minutes plus stoppages to go. Drifted in once again. Picked up on the edge. Madsen didn't get the connection.
No, not a favoured foot there, falling on a right foot. China have weathered another storm, another set piece from Denmark. Done remarkably well blocking runners. China getting something on it. All hands on deck approach, defending. Really making Madsen on this occasion rush the attempt.
She's made a positive impact, although she's given that one away. Trying to work it through nicely. Wang Shuang. Really good idea. Tracked all the way from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Read that pass. Senior Brun. Harder's made her way into the box. Thompson. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. And now Hesbo. As the moment passed. Via.
China got back really well, got really narrow, really compact, made it so hard to play into that dangerous central area. As you mentioned, the moment had passed by them.
Another change for China. Gao Chen getting ready to come on. And another one also for Denmark. Amelie Vangsgaard, who was a doubt, actually, for this game. She's fit enough to some minutes from the bench. Lee Meng-wen making way for China. Comes Vangsgaard. Top scorer in the Swedish league last year, made the move to PSG. Hasn't had a lot of game time. Still managed 2 goals and 4 league starts. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with the throw. Neatly done. Harder starting to get a little bit more involved here. Madsen crowded out.
Harder never seems tired, as in she's at full tilt and as explosive as she is in the first minute as she is in the 100th minute, should it be there.
Via with the throw. An attacking change, though, for Denmark. 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 putting on another forward. Clearly feels there's something here for them. They prefer them to go for the win.
Like seeing the connection that Senior Brun and 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 have made instantly since she came on, taking off a midfielder and having her higher up, pushing 𝓤𝓸𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 higher up. But that is threatening the back line of China more. adding to that spearhead. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Zero attempts on target, Denmark.
Ran ricocheted off Zhang Linglian.
Could still get a winner, couldn't we? And we had no idea which team it would come from.
𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Couldn't get hold of it, cleared upfield.
Well, 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 was signalling to the ref that she thought there was a handball, but we all know now with VAR that will be checked. And if the referee blows a whistle here to signal a pause in a restart, well, it definitely hits a ball, but it rebounds up off her leg and onto her hand, so it won't be given as a handball.
Correct.
As per the rules.
So can't say that was an unnatural position for her arm either.
She's had a really good game, actually. Chen Xiyu. With the firepower that not just Harder brings, but Sinja Brun. 70 international goals. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 scored, all-time leading goal scorer. That's pretty good to have kept her to a shutout.
Still time. Denmark have posed with much greater threats in this second half. Just 2 attempts at goal in the first half, 9 in the second half. Floated in. Harder. Cleverly done.
Yeah, very clever. Almost signalling to set the ball down the line to trick the Chinese defender and then playing it off her out for a corner. She's going to test Xu Wan. She's matched up to any test that's been thrown at her so far.
Tense part of the match. If the goal goes in, it is, in all probability, going to be the winner. Harder delivers, it's a deep cross, and it's won, and it's in! Amelie 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with a towering header that Xu Wan just couldn't keep out. In the final minute of the 90, the Danes leap into the lead.
Wonderful header from 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷. I thought, now if 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 or 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷 is offside on this header, it will be ruled out, simple as that, because she is impeding. I expected Xu Wan to deal with that header, for it to come all that way, and the only reason I can imagine she didn't get to it was because of the run across her, distracting her concentration from that. She'll be desperately hoping that that is reviewed and overturned, but we shall see. It's a matter for those people in the VAR box.
We have the semi-automated offside. It's been given. It looked very, very tight. It's devastating for the goalkeeper. She had 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷 waving a foot in her face as she tried to save that.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly it's not the person didn't touch the ball, so it's not an offside decision, it's an interference decision. Anyway, it has put Denmark just edged. You cannot just about make an argument for them edging it. Their first shot on target in this game leads to a goal.
6 minutes of time added on, and another change for China. 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 coming on. Fresh legs, another experienced winger. Another player who's appearing in her third World Cup, like 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who looked like she might have scored the winner herself for China. With that late goal, it puts a whole different complexion on the group, of course. Narrow win for England earlier against Haiti, and the two meet next. If it stays like this, will be absolutely crucial. Second game of Group D. Fair to say neither have been at their best in the opening game.
It's a biggie for sure.
𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 gets a second bite at it.
Not just for points accumulation and who goes through, but to come top of the group makes it a much easier logistical journey in the knockout stages, whether that be England or Denmark. China are not out of it, of course.
No, because as crucial as the Denmark-England game will be, likewise the China-Haiti game, both sides will feel they can still progress, just narrow defeats.
Absolutely, none of the four teams have looked either convincingly brilliant or convincingly poor either. A very even group. From a ranking point of view, it shouldn't be, but you know, this is what a World Cup brings. A lot of unknown, different playing styles.
China still battling, trying to force an equaliser. Lack of cutting edge, a lack of finishing ability, really, amongst this Chinese squad. Menggu. Free kick. Madsen to 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
Yeah, used a feet, not a brain there, Madsen. You're in goal and you're wanting players to get back and defend, but you want to use their brain. Don't give away cheap free kicks.
This could be it. Madsen has put her team under unwanted pressure here. 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. That's a good ball, and it's somehow off the line. Well, the flag's gone up. What an awful scare for Denmark.
Goodness me, what a ball in from 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, but two players offside. Absolutely criminal at this stage of the game. You can't give an easy out like China have just done there. I mean, wonderful defending from Simone Boy. Unnecessary in the end. Best chance of getting a goal. All spoilt.
Good foul won by 𝓳𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. More seconds go by.
Certainly not a polished performance from Denmark, but England, who know them very, very well, will know absolutely there's another couple of levels, if not more, to come from Denmark.
Fire to 𝓳𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Takes it down beautifully. Madsen's given it away. Asian Cup campaign for China was notable by the fact they came from behind in their quarter-final, the semi-final and the final, but I think they're just going to be out of time on this occasion.
They really have had some remarkable results, as you said, in that run-up. 2-0 down in the final game to come back and win. So they certainly won't have given up, but I think the whistle may defeat them this time.
Sent forward the Gao Chen, and once again Denmark just have to keep their nerve, keep their concentration. And make the correct decision. Flag up. Approaching the 7th minute of stoppage time. There it is, full time. They left it late, but Denmark strike to win their first game of their first World Cup since 2007. They had to work for it, but in the end, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's header, the difference, sets up that second group game against England nicely. But as for China, they had their bright moments, but they just couldn't make the breakthrough when they were on top. Their match against Haiti, no less important in the second round of group games. Full time, though, it's victory for the Europeans on this occasion. Denmark 1, China 0.
Well, what's telling with these scenes here is how 1-0 can feel so different. The Lionesses looked positively flat when their final whistle blew with their 1-0, but these Danish players know that that late goal could be the difference between them getting out of the group and not. And Ellen, you can see just how much it means to them, that goal, because they're desperate to get out, make the last 16. That's kind of their benchmark, isn't it, of success. And China did everything to stop them. Second half, much more open, much better.
Yeah, no, we were talking, weren't we? 16 years since they've last been at a World Cup. Yeah, these scenes are incredible. They're absolutely delighted to obviously get that. And a late winner. It feels so good as a player when you get that late winner. But yeah, China did everything to really, defensively compact, defending for their lives, but ultimately they got that goal in the end, Denmark.
Yeah, and it means, of course, that their match, the second in the group with England on Friday, really starts to look like, you know, the team that's going to finish, the winner of that finishes top of the group. It's kind of that clinical, isn't it? And it's that straightforward. But it also looks like they've both got a chance of getting out of the group now, having those wins under their belt going into that game. We'll talk later about the machinations of that and how it might affect England's approach to that game. But let's have a little look, shall we, at the winner, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. It was on 90 minutes, and 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with the assist, Jonas.
Yeah, it's a great header. She gets so much power into it. I mean, that's not easy when you're trying to head the ball from that far of a distance. I think she gets great power onto it. It's great work by number 4, 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, as well, because she works the line, she's onside, she's trying to get a touch on the ball, but what she does there is she impacts plays, so I think she makes it really difficult for the goalkeeper to intervene. Otherwise, she probably makes a save in that moment. So.
First headed goal of the World Cup.
Wow, that's a great stat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, every single game so far, only one side has scored.
Oh, I wonder how long that's going to go.
Yeah. I'll keep you posted
thank you.
when it changes. You'll know about it. They did change the way they set up China, didn't they, in the second half, because they knew they had to go for the game as well, which, of course, opened things up for Denmark.
Yeah, I think making that substitution at half-time really suited China. They kind of thought they probably had a bit of a chance. We've seen glimpses of them in the first half, and I wouldn't say the game was full of quality in terms of attacking quality and players getting on the ball and making things happen. And China showed a little bit more than they did
right
first
at the
half.
end as well.
I know it actually, yeah. I mean, my notes were killed by that set piece. I said Denmark had poor set pieces, and then they go and score from one. So we all wanted a goal as well.
And then China had their moment. Obviously, most of their players were offside.
Yeah, but what a clearance by Boy there. If they weren't offside, that clearance is unbelievable on the line there. But yeah, they were all offside, so it didn't really count.
When something like that happens with I think there's about 3 minutes to go of the extra period of added time, you kind of know that's it. That's your last moment, that the throw of the dice almost. And Denmark were doing everything they could to make sure the ball didn't go back up the other end.
Yeah, and I think you could see the China team as well, because from the 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 Cup, they come back from defeats in the dying minutes of the games there, and they were turning the games around on set pieces. So you could see that it was a team that really believed all the way until the end. And I think we should give some credit to Denmark for beating a China team here that I think it's stronger than most people think. They did some great things in the 𝓳𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 Cup. They were really well organized today. They lacked some quality on the final third. They need to work on that, obviously, but it's a hard team to break down, and I think that both England and Haiti will need to find a solution to that.
Let's have a little look at Denmark's chance in the second half, because they did get in, they did create, and we saw the players who are the great playmakers get onto the ball, Ellen.
Yeah, they did create some good chances, obviously good defending. This one, I think she just needs to let the ball hit her head, to be honest. You know, she's really kind of jumped up and she just needs to guide that in. It's an open goal, and that was a big chance for Denmark at that time in the game, really. And then again here, what a pass that is. A lovely kind of shot from Brun, and obviously Steph was talking about the defending in this bit.
Yeah, I think that is so brave to be able to stand in front of that shot and make sure that it goes over the goal rather into your goal, and try and protect your keeper as much as you possibly can. I think China did that for the majority of the game, is put the bodies on the line and were really organised, like Jonas said.
And what about 𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰's contributions today?
I think when the game opened up, like Steph was saying in the second half, I think it suited 𝓲𝓷𝓲 much better. And also you could see she had some link-up play with Brun that she could make movements off. And I think that's such an important component for have in her game.
Yeah, obviously you can see Brun here with a lovely kind of flicked header, but like we spoke before at like half-time, that 𝓲𝓷𝓲 needed someone else to help her move up the pitch or to turn, but lovely flick over to... It's just great defending again by China, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they defended so well, but I think with 𝓲𝓷𝓲, I think she did probably need that pressure off a little bit. I think she was trying to do everything in the first half, and Ellen, you were that type of striker that did everything, defending, attacking, runs in the box, and it is impossible by herself, and she really did show a quality second half.
So, just turning our attention to their next match, England, and what England will, when they sit down to look at that tomorrow probably and analyse Denmark's performance, where the threats come from and how England are setting up at the moment as to how Denmark set up today, Ellen.
Well, I think, you know, defensively, we didn't look as sharp as we have before. So I think, you know, Denmark will be looking at that. And obviously, I think based on the second half of that performance, they need to have that Brun as a number 9 for then 𝓲𝓷𝓲 to come, get on the ball and make things happen like she did in the second half. But they'll have so much confidence from that late winner now. And I think they'll pose a big threat to England. So, yeah, a lot of homework needs to be done, really.
Yeah. OK. Well, earlier today, tournament favourites USA got their World Cup campaign underway. Here's the best of the action with Steve Wilson.
Horan. Oh, lovely little flick. Chance for Smith. And she takes it. Sophia Smith with the United States' first goal of this championship. It won't be their last. Here's Rodman. Rodman's ball in is a good one. Good turn by Morgan. Back to Rodman. Rodman goes to ground. Referee's had a close look at that and didn't see anything wrong with it. Well, she didn't get any of the ball. Rodman planted her foot. Left foot goes down there.
After on-field review, the final decision is penalty kick for USA.
Alex Morgan facing Kim Tan. Saved! It's a poor penalty, it really is. Germa toward Ertz, pushed away. Smith with a shot back in, and it's gone all the way through. The flag's up on this near side, it's not going to count. And though there is a VAR check to just ensure the veracity of that decision.
After the factual review, the final decision, it's goal for USA, no offside.
Goal stands. It is the left boot of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, which was just behind the shoulder of Alex Morgan. It's into the channel. Covered by TKO, who made the error. Haran, 3-0. It's been coming. Haran with the goal. Sophia Smith's assist. USA 3, Vietnam 0.
I feel relieved. I was a little bit anxious going into the tournament, so it's good to have a game under our belt and to kind of get a feel for it and know what to expect. But we know that the next 2 games are going to be hard, and we're just, we're going to celebrate this for a second, but then put our focus into the next game.
OK, let's have a little look at Group E then. USA sit top with their 3 points. The Netherlands, Portugal is our game tomorrow. And, of course, they are the beaten finalists from that 2019 final, Netherlands. And they'll come up against USA again in the group, hoping to get one over on them. We'll talk about their prospects shortly. But let's talk Sophia Smith. Well, talk about USA's performance generally and whether or not it surprised you, because I think a lot of people were almost slightly worried that Vietnam were going to get really steamrolled by them, and that didn't happen.
No, I think it was a professional performance from USA. A lot of players have not played in a World Cup, so the likes of Sophia Smith, her first World Cup, and what a performance. But I think for USA and their mentality is just about getting the job done. I think we all did expect probably a few more goals, but we've seen in this tournament there's the gap is getting closer between the best and the teams that have not really experienced World Cups before.
Yeah, 14 new players to World Cup experience. Sophia Smith, though, looking like she was to the manner born, and she's quite a few of you picked her out as one who's going to kind of become that big breakthrough star in this World Cup.
Did I say that? Did I get that one right?
No, I didn't want to say quite a few. I wasn't sure that was your
I think I said it, Ellen.
I want to get one right. Nobody is ruling out Norway just yet.
I said Sophia, thank you. I said New Zealand, Rebel. I actually really liked her interview as well, saying that she felt pressure, she felt nervous, but what a finish this is. Lovely finish, and what a way to start your debut in a World Cup, get off the mark, score 2 goals and get an assist. Yeah, I think, like Steph said, professional performance. Bit lucky in this one, but again, you need that luck, don't you?
Yeah, and we spoke about pressure playing for England before, and I mean, it's definitely pressure playing for USA, and with all the ambitions they have and the history that they have as well. And like you were saying, Steph, they have so many debutants on their squad here that hasn't been experienced World Cup before. So I really like that what Sophia Smith said as well, because it felt like they had their feet on the ground. They knew that this was going to be a tough start and to start growing into the tournament from there on.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crowd there eclipsing the opening game, which had 42,000. So the biggest crowd ever for women's football in New Zealand. USA, very attractive, aren't they, in this tournament to watch? Right, throughout the tournament, our fan reporters will be bringing you their unique take on the tournament. And judging by this, they've had a few fun days.
Hi guys, just Lauren here from Auckland in New Zealand. Just ready